Good evening, everyone. Back to the Lost Lemon Mine. This is another it's not a prospector, but she was a newspaper writer, journalist, I guess. Her name is Frida Bundy, and there's a bit of a crazy twist to this, so hopefully you can all hear me. All right, Frida Bundy. The second of the prospector stories dealing with the Lost Lemon Mine is based upon the writings of Frida Bundy, a pioneer newspaper woman and historian. Frida Graham Bundy was born in 1895 in Truro, Nova Scotia. She graduated from the Nova Scotia Provincial Normal School in 1914 and moved west to begin teaching in Lethbridge, Alberta. Frida married Clarence J. Bundy. In 1916, they got married. And they had 3 children. In the 1920s, she began writing feature articles for various newspapers and periodicals, most notably the Lethbridge Herald and the Pincer Creek Echo. During her long career as an author, she wrote many articles and plays, as well as an autobiography entitled Go West, Young Woman. Frida and Clarence retired to Pincer Creek, where she died in 1962. The following account is based upon Bundy's article concerning the Lost Lemon Mine, which appeared in the Family Herald and Weekly Star on March 9th, 1938. Bundy was familiar with many stories of the Old West, but none, she claimed, were more colorful or exaggerated than the story of the Lost Lemon Mine, or the Lemon Diggings, as she says the pioneers around Pincer Creek called it. Most of these pioneers could tell a version of this old tale, but they didn't agree upon the exact details of what happened. Although Bundy admitted that it was very difficult to say whether or not the story was true, she said that Old Gladstone, the first white settler in that area, knew about the mine and was a valuable source of information. It seems certain that he and other pioneers like Bill Olin, Matt Holloway, and John Nelson believed in the existence of the Lost Lemon Mine. They would hardly have spent so many years searching the mountains for the gold had they doubted the truth of the original story. A man named Garofel, who was an early prospector of the Cariboo Gold Rush, thought the gold must be on the British Columbia side of the border. He spent his time prospecting along the Bull River beyond St. Eugene Mission. It had been suggested that Lemon's gold came from this part of the country. Some of the stories told by the early settlers concern a sack of gold that Lemon obtained from the First Nations people, possibly in the area of Fort Steele. In exchange for horses and other trade goods he and Blackjack had brought in from Montana. While the account of the Lost Lemon Mine is certainly colorful and romantic, Bundy concluded that the facts concerning its exact location were exceedingly controversial. Lemon himself told many versions of the story, and each pioneer who retold the tale claims to have heard it directly from Lennon himself. Over the years, there have been a number of mini rushes, each in an area rumored to be the hiding place of Lemon's gold. In 1931, and again in 1933, there was a rush southwest of Nanton and High River, but it fizzled out when nothing was ever found. Other pioneers have always maintained that the true location of the Lost Lemon Mine is in the vicinity of Crow's Nest Lake, along the upper reaches of Racehorse Creek. There is an old First Nations pack trail running along Racehorse Creek and over the Racehorse Pass that Lemon, Bill Olin, and John Nelson used to cross the mountains into British Columbia on their way to an early mission. Bundy suggested a possible connection between the trail and Lemon's lost gold. She based this on a story Bill Olin told in Pincer Creek and vicinity. According to Bundy, a short time after the Northwest Mounted Police established Fort Macleod in 1873, two prospectors drifted into the barracks from Montana. There had been rumors of gold finds on the North Saskatchewan River at Fort Edmonton, and Bill Lemon and his partner Jim had traveled up the Whoop-Up Trail from Fort Benton to try their luck. The Mounties at Fort Macleod knew there was not much gold to be found in that country and tried without success to convince Lemon and Jim to abandon their trip north to Fort Edmonton. Lemon and his partner shrugged off the good advice and headed north anyway. Members of the force from the early days remembered Lemon and his partner and the wild yarns Lemon told about his lost mine. In the months that followed, police riders frequently encountered the two prospectors washing for gold in many of the mountain streams. It was never known exactly where Lemon and his partner got their gold. They may have found a vein near the mouth of the Racehorse Creek or washed it out of the streams on the eastern side of the mountains. Some have suggested they may have traveled over the divide into BC and made their strike as far west as St. Eugene Mission. This area is extremely rich in placer gold and certainly seems a possible source of Lemon's gold, whether it was obtained by panning or with trade with First Nations people. Sticker stuck to that. Lemon and his partner built a crude cabin in the North Country and prospected there for some time. According to the policemen who knew them, Lemon seems to have been an educated adventurer, while his partner was an uncouth ruffian. Exactly what happened between Lemon and Jim will never be known, but an old-time trader and buffalo hunter named John Nelson learned some of the details from a First Nations man he met on his travels, who wished to trade gold nuggets for rum. When he saw the gold, Nelson began to question the man at gunpoint. Wisely answering Nelson's questions, the man said that he had encountered a prospector riding alone on the trail that ran from the North Country to Fort Benton, and had bushwhacked and murdered the miner for his poke. Nelson lost no time in sharing this information with his friends, Bill Olin and Matt Holloway, two old-time buffalo hunters who had come north with him from Montana and had settled at Legrandier's Crossing on the Old Man River. Bill Olin, William Lee, and a trapper by the name of Biggs set out into the North Country. The trail took them past the Whispering Gates of the North Fork and farther back into the mountains until they found Lemon's cabin. They found a cabin. In the abandoned shanty, they found Lemon's corpse. Apparently he had been killed the winter before. Along with the body, they found a note penned by Lemon accusing Jim of wounding him and leaving him for dead. Lemon had cursed his partner and said that Jim would most likely be heading south along the trail to Fort Benton. He had written that he hoped whoever found his body might follow and bring his murderer to justice. In later years, Olin said that he and his companions buried Lemon's remains in a nearby cave, since a proper burial was impossible because the ground was still frozen. A careful search of the cabin and surrounding area provided no clue to the source of the nuggets. According to Frida Bundy's account, the First Nations man said that the lone rider he had met was Lemon's partner Jim, but just how he knew this is not made clear. The story does not mention the native man's fate, but given John Nelson's apparently excitable nature, it's reasonable to assume that his prospects were less than bright, especially after he had admitted murdering a white miner. And what of Lemon's gold? According to Frida Bundy, this story spread like a prairie fire over the south, and the buffalo hunters and prospectors drifted up the Racehorse Creek, hoping to find a blaze trail or location of some sort marking the whereabouts of the famous Lemon diggings. But neither trail, nugget, or gold dust was ever found on the eastern slope of the divide, and it was not for lack of seekers and explorers. Down the years, the story has persisted with many variations. Supposedly authentic maps have cropped up at times, but later proved to be false clues. And many an early settler and raw cowhand were inveigled into parting with their bit of earthly wealth by some smooth talker who had declared that he had the secret location from information that Lemon had left. Crazy. So it says here, yeah, they had 3 kids. So that's that's pretty crazy. Anyways, that's it. Then there's one more story from a prospector, and it's a long one, so we'll just leave that one, and just continue on probably tomorrow night or the night after. Cool. Thanks for stopping by.